Gentlemen, allow me to speak plainly. Picture this, just one gentle press on a hidden point of your body for a single minute, and suddenly strength and vitality that you thought were gone for good begin to return. Not through pills, not through gimmicks, but through a natural method that revives circulation, awakens sensitivity, and restores the confidence every man deserves. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 80 years old. This is not fantasy. It's not some passing trick. This is the union of timeless wisdom with modern medical understanding. And once you hear it, you'll realize it has the power to transform not only your body, but also the way you feel about yourself as a man. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Adrian Cole, and for more than 3 decades, I've dedicated my life to helping men rediscover the energy, vitality, and passion they thought age had stolen from them. I've listened to the quiet confessions of thousands of men who lowered their voices when they spoke of fading strength of nights that ended in disappointment of the silent fear that their best days were behind them. I've guided them step by step toward proven practical solutions that brought hope back into their lives. You see, many men believe that once their potency starts to fade, their only options are chemical pills or worse, resignation, learning to live with less. But that belief is simply not true. Hidden within your own body lies a point of extraordinary power, a point known for centuries in traditional healing practices, yet rarely spoken of in modern conversations about men's health. Now, science itself confirms what ancient practitioners already knew. This small spot can influence circulation, nerve strength, and the health of the very muscles that govern manhood. My promise to you is simple. If you devote just 60 seconds a day to stimulating this point, you can begin to restore blood flow, relax the pelvic floor, and reawaken the systems that fuel strong, lasting vitality. And I will not only tell you where this spot is, but also show you how to find it, how to massage it properly, and how certain natural oils can multiply its benefits. This knowledge might well be the key that gives you back what you thought had been lost forever. But before we dive into the details, I invite you to join me on this journey. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and let this channel become your trusted companion for the years ahead. If what I shared today speaks to you, type 1 in the comments so I'll know I've reached you. If not, type 0 because your feedback helps me refine and bring the guidance you truly need. Now, before revealing this powerful point, we must first understand the enemy, what truly happens to a man's body after the age of 50. Erections that once came easily and effortlessly begin to fade, not because masculinity disappears, but because changes inside your body slowly choke circulation, dull nerve, sensitivity, and weaken the muscles that once supported. And strength. I want to speak as if you were right here in my office, man to man. I've seen it play out in hundreds of lives. At first, everything seems fine. But year by year, subtle changes creep in. What once was automatic now requires effort. The strength that used to feel unshakable begins to feel uncertain, sometimes fading halfway, sometimes never arriving at all. And make no mistake, this is about much more than intimacy. It's about how you see yourself when you look in the mirror. It's about confidence, about identity. Many men have told me that when these changes take hold, it feels as though a part of who they are is quietly slipping away. But here's the truth: decline is not destiny. And the solution, as you'll soon see, has been within your reach all along. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share is something every man over 50 needs to hear. First, I want you to understand this. You are not broken, and you are certainly not alone. What you're experiencing is not a flaw in your character, but a natural process your body goes through with age. And the good news, natural does not mean irreversible. Let's break it down. After 50, your body starts to undergo a series of changes that silently weaken the systems responsible for strength, intimacy, and vitality. The first shift happens in your pelvic floor muscles, the very muscles that control urination and support erections. They don't simply grow weak, they become both overly tight and fragile at the same time. It sounds contradictory, but picture an old rubber band stretched for years. It looks tight, but its snap and strength are gone. That is exactly what happens deep inside your body. This tension makes it harder for blood to circulate properly. And because the muscles no longer have their former power, they can't hold or support erections the way they once did. That's just the first challenge. The second, your blood vessels themselves begin to age. Over time, they stiffen, narrow, and lose flexibility. Blood that once rushed in effortlessly now struggles to flow, and without that surge, firmness and staying power begin to fade. And then there are the nerves. The intricate network of nerves in the pelvic region is like a series of electric wires carrying signals of pleasure and arousal. But after years of sitting too long, chronic stress, poor posture, or even old inflammation, these nerves can become compressed. Imagine a cable pinched under a heavy weight. The signal weakens, the spark grows faint. The result? Duller sensations, slower arousal, and a response that doesn't feel as reliable as it once did. Now, when you hear all of this: tight muscles, rigid blood vessels, compressed nerves, you might think it sounds hopeless, like nature itself is shutting the door. But lean in, because this is the moment of truth. Common does not mean permanent. And here is the remarkable part. Hidden in plain sight on your very own body lies a point of immense power. Almost no one talks about it, not even most doctors. Yet this single spot holds the potential to unlock blood flow, revive your nerves, relax your muscles, and reawaken the very strength you thought was gone. This special place has even been given a legendary name: the $1 Million Point. In traditional medicine, it was recognized centuries ago. Modern science is only now catching up, confirming what ancient wisdom already knew. This small area tucked away between your scrotum and your anus has the power to influence not just erections, but also the health of your prostate and even your bladder control. It's astonishing, isn't it? Something so vital, so close, and yet so overlooked. For decades, most men never even give it a thought until they discover what it can do. And in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to find this secret point and why paying attention to it could change the course of your health, your confidence, and your life. When I first stepped into the world of medicine decades ago, I hardly gave the perineum a second thought. Like so many doctors trained strictly in Western methods, my focus was on prescriptions, surgeries, and complicated procedures. That was the framework we were taught: if something is broken, fix it with tools, chemicals, or scalpels. But over the years, as I truly began to listen to my patients and carefully observe how their bodies responded, something remarkable revealed itself. This small, overlooked spot, hidden in plain sight, turned out to be a powerful crossroads where multiple highways of male health converge. Think about it for a moment. Beneath that modest strip of skin runs a network of major blood vessels, the very pipelines that carry life-giving blood to fuel strong, reliable erections. Alongside them travel delicate but crucial nerves, carrying signals of arousal and pleasure to the brain. Without these signals, intimacy becomes muted, like listening to your favorite song through broken speakers, distorted and incomplete. Anchored in this same area is the very root of the penis, while just above lies the prostate, an organ central not only to sexual health, but also to urinary function. All of these vital structures intersect and layer together within a space smaller than the palm of your hand. It's astonishing, isn't it? Such power and vulnerability packed into such a small, often ignored place. And here's where the revelation truly comes alive. When circulation slows, when nerves grow dull, when muscles lock tight, problems tend to gather right here at this critical junction. But with something as simple as gentle, consistent massage, you can send a powerful message to your body: wake up, release, let the flow return. It's like clearing a traffic jam inside your pelvis, allowing everything to move freely again. Countless men who've discovered this practice describe the sensation in vivid terms, like a dam finally breaking open, energy rushing through, and vitality returning. This is why ancient healing traditions gave such importance to this spot, even calling it the $1 Million Point. They understood long before modern science could measure it that health and vigor could be nurtured here. Today, with all our advanced knowledge, we are finally confirming what they already knew. Massage of the perineum does more than just feel good. It improves blood flow, reawakens nerves, and releases the tightness of the pelvic floor. But knowing its importance is only half the journey. The real question is, how do you actually find this hidden treasure? And how do you stimulate it in a safe, effective way, right in the privacy of your own home? That's exactly what I'll guide you through next. Picture me sitting across from you, calmly showing you step by step, as I've done for thousands of men before. The perineum is located in that small stretch of skin between your scrotum and your anus, right at the center of this hidden intersection. And once you learn how to touch it with care and precision, you'll understand why this one overlooked spot may hold the key to unlocking strength, vitality, and confidence you thought were gone forever. At first, you may feel a little uncertain when exploring this area. After all, it's a place most men rarely pay attention to. But here's the truth: with a little patience and the right touch, you'll know immediately when you found it. As your fingertips press gently, you'll notice a small indentation, soft, sensitive, and perhaps even slightly tender. Don't mistake that tenderness for harm. In fact, it's a clear sign that you've arrived at the very spot you've been looking for. Once you've located it, the technique itself is remarkably simple. Bring your index and middle finger together and apply steady, moderate pressure. The best way to imagine it is this press as if you were testing the ripeness of a tomato. Firm enough to feel structure, yet gentle enough not to crush it. That's the sweet spot of pressure, supportive but never forceful. From there, you can begin with small circular motions. Move clockwise for about half a minute, then reverse the direction and go counterclockwise for another half. Just this 1 minute of consistent movement can already begin to improve blood flow and release hidden tension in the pelvic floor. Some men enjoy varying the method using a light up and down motion, almost like a gentle bounce on the spot. Others prefer pressing firmly for a slow count of 5, then releasing for 5, creating a rhythmic pulse that mimics the body's natural pumping action. The important thing to remember is this: it's not about pressing hard, digging deep, or trying to force results. Too much pressure will only leave you sore or discouraged. Think of it not as a workout, but as an invitation, a signal to your body that it's safe to relax, to release, and to allow energy and blood flow to return. With time and practice, this motion becomes second nature. Soon, you'll notice your body responding more warmth in the area, deeper relaxation, sometimes even a faint pulsing sensation, as fresh blood fills tissues that had long been neglected. And that's the beauty of this practice, its simplicity. You don't need fancy equipment, no expensive therapies, no complicated routines. All it takes is your own hands, a comfortable position, and the willingness to give yourself 60 seconds of focused care. At first, yes, it might feel unusual. But after a week or two, many men say this quiet daily ritual becomes something they look forward to, not only for the physical improvements, but for the deep sense of control it restores over their health and vitality. And while you can certainly practice this massage without any additions, there is a way to make it more comfortable and even more effective by using the right oils. Oils do far more than reduce friction. The right choice can unlock deeper circulation, soothe inflammation, and nourish the very tissues that support your strength. In the next part, I'll reveal which oils are most powerful and how they can transform this simple 1-minute exercise into a restorative daily practice. Using oil in this practice is not simply about reducing friction. It's about unlocking deeper layers of healing, boosting blood circulation, calming hidden inflammation, and nourishing tissues that have quietly weakened over the years. I'll never forget one gentleman in his 70s who came to me with doubt written all over his face. He had tried the massage drive for a week, and while he admitted it felt interesting, he also confessed it was awkward and not particularly effective. When I suggested adding oil, everything shifted. Within just a few days, he noticed warmth spreading through the area, smoother blood flow, and an overall sense of ease. That small change made a huge difference. Sometimes the tiniest adjustment can completely transform the results. Which brings us to the real question: what oils are truly worth your time? At the very top of my list is castor oil. For centuries, this oil has been trusted in traditional healing because of its rare ability to penetrate deeply into tissues. It carries a unique compound called ricinoleic acid, which not only calms inflammation, but also stimulates circulation at the same time. When applied to the perineum, castor oil doesn't just sit on the surface. It feels as though it sinks into the muscles and blood vessels beneath the skin. Many men report a gentle, soothing warmth afterward, a clear sign that fresh blood is flowing into neglected areas. Another excellent option is virgin coconut oil. I often recommend this to men with sensitive skin because it is naturally antibacterial, soothing, and absorbs cleanly without leaving an oily residue. Beyond comfort, coconut oil contains compounds that support hormone balance and reduce low-grade inflammation. Two factors that play an essential role in erectile health. And let's be honest, the light, pleasant fragrance of coconut oil makes the whole experience far more enjoyable than the medicinal smell of castor oil. For those who are seeking something stronger, there is black seed oil. This powerful oil contains thymoquinone, a compound shown in studies to improve circulation and even support testosterone levels. For centuries across the Middle East, it has been revered as a tonic for men's vitality. The only drawback: it can be harder to find and tends to be more expensive. Yet for many men, the results are well worth the effort. And here's a tip for those who want to elevate the practice even further. Blend your base oils and enhance them with a few drops of essential oils. Peppermint oil can bring a cooling rush that stimulates circulation. Rosemary can activate the nerves, and sandalwood, used for generations, has long been associated with male reproductive health. Just remember, essential oils are potent. 3 or 4 drops mixed into an ounce of carrier oil is more than enough. By using oils, you transform this 1-minute massage into more than just a physical exercise. It becomes a ritual of self-care. Your fingers provide the touch, but the oils bring the healing power of nature itself into the process. Together, they create not only physical benefits, but also a sense of renewal, dignity, and vitality. When you combine the right touch with the healing power of natural oils, something remarkable happens. The results feel stronger, arrive faster, and last much longer. But this raises an important question. Why does such a simple practice actually work? Yet, once you understand what's happening inside your body, it all becomes crystal clear. Over the years, I've explained this science to countless men who walked into my office, skeptical, even doubtful. But when I broke it down step by step, you could see their faces change. Suddenly, the light bulb went on and they realized this wasn't magic or myth, it was biology working in their favor. Let me share that same understanding with you now. The first and most immediate effect is improved circulation. Think of the massage as acting like a pump. Each press and gentle movement pushes out stagnant blood that has been pooling in the tissues, while at the same time drawing in a fresh surge of oxygen-rich blood. Erections depend entirely on this influx. Without it, there is no strength, no firmness, no staying power. Many men report a gentle warmth spreading during or after the massage. That warmth is living proof that blood has returned to areas that were neglected. The second benefit is nerve activation. The delicate nerves responsible for arousal and sensation pass directly through this region. Over time, because of tight muscles, hours of sitting stress, or poor posture, these nerves become compressed, their signals muffled like static on an old radio. Gentle massage works like clearing dust from an electrical contact. The connection brightens, the signals become sharp and strong again, and the body begins to respond more quickly and more intensely. The third effect is on the prostate, the small but vital gland sitting just above the perineum. When blood flow improves in this region, the prostate is nourished as well. Better circulation reduces congestion, balances hormone activity, and eases some of the urinary difficulties that plague so many men as they age. I've had men tell me not only did their intimacy improve, but the constant nightly trips to the bathroom suddenly decreased, giving them deeper sleep and more energy the next day. The fourth impact is on the pelvic floor muscles themselves. These hidden muscles act like a foundation for your sexual and urinary health, but they are often overlooked. Just like the knots in your shoulders or back, the pelvic floor can become tight, rigid, and fatigued. Yet most men never realize how much these muscles influence erections, orgasm, and even bladder control. By releasing the built-up tension in this area, the entire system functions more smoothly, more powerfully, and with less strain. And this is only the beginning. This 1-minute practice doesn't just touch one system, it supports blood flow, nerve health, prostate function, and muscle balance all at once. That's why something so simple carries results that feel anything but ordinary. When those hidden trigger points are released, something remarkable happens. The entire pelvic system begins to work more smoothly, with greater coordination and strength. But there's another effect that often surprises men: the impact on the nervous system. This massage doesn't just influence muscles and blood vessels. It awakens the parasympathetic nervous system and the branch of your body designed for rest, recovery, and healing. When this system is activated, stress hormones like cortisol begin to drop. And why does that matter? Because excess stress is one of the silent killers of male performance. Cortisol robs you of energy, blocks sexual response, and leaves you feeling drained. By calming this system, your body naturally shifts into a state of balance, renewal, and strength. That's why so many men don't just report physical improvements, but also describe an unexpected sense of calm, mental clarity, and emotional stability. All of these changes, better circulation, stronger nerves, prostate support, muscle relaxation, and nervous system balance, are happening simultaneously. That's the hidden power of this small daily act. What looks simple on the outside delivers profound transformation within. But of course, understanding why it works is only half the journey. The bigger question is, when should you do it, and how often to see the best results? That's the next step. Over decades of guiding men in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds, I've seen a clear pattern emerge. Those who treat this as a consistent ritual, not a quick experiment, experience real, lasting improvements. Think of it like watering a plant. A single splash won't change much, but regular, steady care allows the roots to strengthen and the plant to thrive. So when is the ideal time? Mornings are one of the best opportunities. Why? Because your testosterone levels naturally peak after you wake. By practicing the massage in the morning, you amplify your body's own rhythm, giving it an extra boost. Many men notice that their energy is brighter throughout the day, and some even find that their natural morning erections grow firmer within the first week. Evenings, however, offer their own unique advantages. A short, gentle massage before bed tells the body it's time to relax. Stress hormones fade, the pelvic floor unwinds, and not only does the quality of sleep improve, but nighttime and morning erections often become stronger as well. Countless men have told me that after ending the day with this practice, they woke up feeling clearer, calmer, and more refreshed than they had in years. If you're just starting, I usually suggest every other day at first. This gives your body time to adapt without irritation. After a week, you can shift comfortably to once daily. And for those who fall in love with the results, twice a day, morning and evening, can be even more rewarding. Remember, consistency beats intensity. A single focused minute done regularly is far more powerful than long sessions done sporadically. Let me make something absolutely clear. This practice is not about how hard you press or how long you do it. One steady, focused minute repeated consistently will deliver far greater results than occasional long sessions done with too much force. Think of it like physical training. You don't build lasting strength by going to the gym once a week and exhausting yourself. Real progress comes from showing up regularly, giving your body the steady signals it needs to grow stronger over time. Here's another tip. If you're planning for intimacy, the best time to do this massage is about 2 to 3 hours before. That timing primes your system, wakes everything up, and leaves you feeling ready when the moment arrives without overstimulating or distracting your body. In the end, you'll discover your own rhythm. But the golden rule is simple. Consistency is always more powerful than intensity. Now that you know when and how often to practice, we need to talk about something just as important: what not to do. Because too many men get excited when they first hear about this technique, but then rush in with the wrong approach. They push too hard, they skip steps, or they grow impatient. And when they don't see instant results, or worse, when they feel discomfort, they quit altogether. I don't want that to happen to you. So let me share the most common mistakes I've seen over the years so you can avoid them and stay on track toward real lasting improvement. Mistake number 1, pressing too hard. I get it. We've been taught that harder is better, that more effort equals more results. But here the opposite is true. This area contains delicate tissue filled with sensitive nerves and fine blood vessels. Treat it with respect. Pressing too firmly can leave you sore, even bruised, and that pain will discourage you from staying consistent. Remember, this isn't a back or shoulder massage. Think of it less like brute force and more like a gentle encouragement, a message to your body to release and open up again. Mistake number 2, skipping the oil. Some men try to keep things simple, thinking dry fingers are enough. But oil adds far more than comfort. It nourishes the skin, enhances circulation, and carries its own therapeutic properties. Ignoring it is like leaving half the benefits on the table. Mistake number 3, using the wrong position. If you're straining your back, twisting your arm, or cramping your hand just to reach the spot, you won't keep up the practice for long. Whether you're lying on your back with knees bent, sitting at the edge of a chair, or standing with one foot propped on a stool, find the posture that lets you relax and focus without effort. And finally, perhaps the most damaging mistake of all, giving up too soon. This isn't a magic switch that transforms you overnight. It's a gradual process where each session builds on the last. Too many men try for a few days, don't see dramatic changes, and walk away. That's like planting a seed and expecting a full-grown tree by the weekend. Give your body time. With consistency, the changes begin to stack up, until one day you realize everything feels different, stronger, freer, more alive. Here's the mistake I've seen too often. Men try this for just a few days, don't see fireworks, and immediately conclude it doesn't work. That's like planting a seed in the ground and expecting a towering tree to appear overnight. This technique is not about instant miracles. It's about steady, cumulative progress. Each day you practice circulation, improves a little more tension, eases nerves, awaken, and your body begins to remember how to function the way it was designed to. When you stay consistent, something wonderful begins to happen. You discover that the benefits of this quiet 1-minute practice reach far beyond the bedroom. In fact, the improvements often spill over into areas of life you might never have imagined. Most men begin this routine with one goal in mind: stronger, more dependable erections. And while that alone is worthwhile, what amazes both them and me, even after years of recommending it, is how many unexpected transformations follow. Take bladder control, for example. Those frustrating little reminders of aging, dribbling after urination, the constant nighttime trips to the bathroom often start to fade. Why? Because by releasing and strengthening the pelvic floor, you give your bladder the support it's been begging for. I recall one gentleman in his late 60s who shared with me almost in disbelief that he went from waking up 4 times a night to only once, sometimes not at all. His wife was overjoyed too, because they finally slept through the night without interruptions. Another hidden gift: relief from long-standing pain. The pelvic floor muscles don't exist in isolation. They connect to the hips, the lower spine, even the core. When these muscles are knotted and overworked, they tug on everything around them. By releasing that deep tension, men often find chronic aches they've endured for years begin to fade. I'll never forget a man in his 70s who told me that after just 3 weeks of consistency, the hip pain that plagued him for 5 years vanished. His physical therapist was stunned, but he knew exactly what had changed this daily practice. And the ripple effects continue. Men report moving with more stability, feeling greater endurance, and recovering faster from physical activity. When your pelvic floor functions properly, your entire foundation strengthens and the rest of your body responds in kind. Even the mind is not left out. Stress hormones begin to drop, blood flows more freely, and with that comes clarity, lightness, and renewed vitality. Many describe it as though a fog has lifted, leaving them sharper, calmer, and more alive than they've felt in years. Some men have told me that the greatest change wasn't just physical, it was the confidence they carried into daily life. Simply giving attention to an area of the body they had ignored for decades made them feel stronger, more complete, more in control. And that's the deeper lesson here. This massage isn't only about intimacy or performance. It's about honoring your health, your dignity, and the quality of your life as a whole. But knowing the benefits is just one piece of the puzzle. The real secret lies in consistency, turning this practice into a habit so natural, so automatic, that you couldn't imagine skipping it. That's where transformation happens. The truth is, most men don't fail because the technique doesn't work. They fail because they let it slip away. They try it for a few days, then life gets busy, and before they know it, the practice is forgotten. That's why I always remind my patients, this is not a quick fix. It works best when it becomes part of your daily rhythm, as ordinary as brushing your teeth or washing your face. And once you find that rhythm, it no longer feels like a chore, it feels like a gift you give yourself every single day. So how do you make it stick? Start by anchoring it to a habit you already do without fail. Maybe right after your morning shower, just before shaving, or in the quiet moments before bed. Pairing the massage with an existing routine makes it automatic. You won't need to rely on willpower. Some men have told me the simplest change, like keeping a small bottle of oil on their nightstand, was enough to keep them consistent. Out of sight often means out of mind, but when the reminder is right in front of you, it becomes impossible to ignore. Tracking your progress can also be a powerful motivator. You don't need complicated journals, just jot down a quick note each day. How did your energy feel? Did you sleep better? Was your mood lighter? Over time, these notes become a mirror of your progress. One gentleman in his 70s began rating his vitality on a simple scale of 1 to 10 each morning. That simple record was all the encouragement he needed to keep going. And here's an important reminder: don't fall into the trap of perfectionism. You don't need to hit the same time every day, and if you miss a session, don't punish yourself by doubling up the next time. Just continue where you left off. What matters most is consistency over the long term, not rigid rules. Even practicing 3 or 4 days a week can deliver meaningful change, though of course, daily practice brings the greatest rewards. Think of it as preventive maintenance. Even if you're content with your performance right now, this routine acts like insurance, preserving your energy, your potency, and your vitality as you age. It's always easier to maintain what you have than to rebuild what's been lost. When you commit to making this a lifelong habit, you're not just investing in your physical health, You're investing in your confidence, your independence, and the joy of living fully. And once this practice becomes second nature, you'll be ready for the final step, stepping back and seeing the bigger picture of how one simple daily act can completely reshape the way you age. And so we arrive at the heart of it all. This entire journey comes down to a single choice, your choice. Will you accept decline as an unavoidable part of aging, or will you take an active role in keeping your body strong, vibrant, and alive? I've looked into the eyes of countless men, some in their 60s, others well into their 70s and 80s, who sat in my office feeling defeated. They had tried pills, quick fixes, and empty promises, but nothing gave them the lasting results they craved. Many believed their best years were already behind them. Yet when they embraced this simple 1-minute practice each day, they began to reclaim control piece by piece until confidence and vitality returned. Because maintaining potency is not about chasing the illusion of youth. It's about preserving dignity. It's about intimacy, the kind that brings laughter back into a marriage. It's about knowing deep down that your body can still respond when you call upon it. We change the oil in our cars, we service our machines, we even tend lovingly to our gardens. Yet too often, we neglect the one vessel that matters most, the body that carries us through every single day. This daily massage is like preventive maintenance for your manhood. It's not glamorous, it's not expensive, and it doesn't require gimmicks. But it works, and most importantly, it puts the power back in your hands. I'll never forget one man well into his late 70s who came to me utterly resigned. He was convinced intimacy was behind him. 30 days later, after practicing faithfully, he returned with tears in his eyes. He told me not only was his body awakening again, but he felt closer to his wife than he had in decades. They laughed together, held each other with warmth, and in his words, "Doctor, I feel like myself again." That is the true promise of this practice. Not just stronger erections, but a fuller, richer life, filled with joy, confidence, and connection. So now the decision rests with you. You can continue relying on quick fixes, crossing your fingers, and watching your vitality slowly fade. Or you can take one single minute each day to nurture your body, restore your circulation, rebuild your confidence, and reclaim your body. Manhood. The investment is so small, just a little time, a little consistency, maybe a bottle of oil, but the return could transform the rest of your life. If you've stayed with me this far, I know you're serious about change. You're ready to take this step. Remember, everything we've uncovered together, why potency fades, the hidden power of the perineum, how to massage it with care, the oils that amplify its effects, the science that explains it all, the right timing, the pitfalls to avoid, and the unexpected benefits that go far beyond the bedroom. Take this with you. You are not powerless. Just 1 minute a day can restore not only your physical function, but also your dignity, your intimacy, and your confidence. I've seen this transform lives, and it can transform yours as well. The choice, quite literally, is in your hands.